Ladies and gentlemen, there is a powerful truth embedded in the idea of working hard in silence and letting your success make the noise. In a world obsessed with instant gratification, where social media is flooded with noise, distractions, and self-promotion, we often forget the quiet power of relentless work behind the scenes. Success is not about announcing your every move, your every step. It's about having the discipline to continue putting in the effort when no one is watching. It's about working in the shadows with dedication and focus, believing that the outcome will speak for itself. When you work hard in silence, you develop the most important quality that separates the successful from the unsuccessful: the ability to persist in the face of adversity. Many people want the rewards, but fewer are willing to put in the effort behind the scenes to earn those rewards. This is where the magic happens. While others are busy showing off, you're busy perfecting your craft. While others are distracted by opinions and short-term recognition, you're building the foundation for long-term success. When the time is right, when the results are undeniable, that's when you step into the light, and your success will shock them because they never saw it coming. The key here is patience. Success doesn't always come immediately, but when it does, it has the power to leave an impact that is undeniable. So work hard in silence, let your success do the talking, and let the world be surprised by your journey. The most successful people don't announce their plans, they execute them. While the world is talking, they're focused on doing the work. And when success comes, it's loud enough to be heard. Stop complaining about where you are. Focus on working diligently, one step at a time. Consistency in your effort will eventually pay off in ways that surprise even you. Words are cheap, but results are priceless. Don't waste time explaining yourself. Let your achievements do the talking. Your success will be the ultimate statement. Success doesn't come overnight. You must endure, put in the time, and trust the process. Over time, your efforts will accumulate and create a breakthrough that no one expected. Instead of waiting for others to approve your work or congratulate you, focus on becoming the best at what you do. When you achieve mastery, the recognition will come naturally. It's in silence that you make real progress. You don't need constant validation. You need uninterrupted focus and the discipline to keep moving forward, even when no one else notices. The world celebrates quick wins and shortcuts, but true success is built over time. Embrace the long road. This is where lasting success is forged. People often underestimate quiet, consistent effort. They may not recognize your growth, but when the time comes for you to show your success, it will catch them by surprise. Let your actions be the proof of your commitment. When you dedicate yourself to quiet, consistent work, something remarkable happens. You begin to see the difference between those who talk about success and those who actually achieve it. The majority of people spend so much time talking about their dreams, sharing their plans, and seeking approval that they never put in the real work. It's easy to get distracted by the noise around you, to get caught up in what others are doing, and to measure your progress against theirs. But true success doesn't need a loud introduction. It doesn't need constant attention or validation. The quiet work, the effort you put in when no one is watching, creates the foundation for long-term achievement. It's in those hours of silent dedication when no one is cheering you on or even noticing your progress that you lay the groundwork for something great. You see, results don't happen because you wish for them or because you make a lot of noise about your intentions. Results come from persistent, focused effort. It's the hours you put in when others are resting. It's the dedication to your craft, even when it's hard, and nobody seems to care. People often underestimate the power of silent work. They might not see the small improvements you're making every day, but trust me, those improvements compound over time. Eventually, when the results begin to show, they'll speak for themselves. It will be at that moment, when the fruits of your labor are undeniable, that people will finally take notice. Your quiet work will produce loud results. Don't expect applause or attention at every step. The real test of your character is to keep moving forward when there's no immediate recognition. The success that comes from this silent effort will be more rewarding and impactful than anything achieved through noise and distractions. Keep working, keep learning, and trust that your results will eventually be so impressive that they won't need any explanation. The louder your success, the quieter your effort was. One of the greatest lessons you can learn is the importance of consistency over complaints. It's easy to get caught up in the habit of complaining. We all face challenges, we all encounter obstacles, and it can be tempting to focus on what's wrong, what's not fair, or what's holding us back. But here's the truth: complaining doesn't change anything. It doesn't move you forward. It doesn't solve problems or create opportunities. In fact, it usually only slows you down. What does work, what truly makes a difference, is consistency. It's showing up day after day, regardless of how you feel, regardless of the difficulties that stand in your way. Consistency is the real force that propels you toward your goals. It's the small, seemingly insignificant actions you take on a regular basis that build up to create something meaningful. It's the habit of making progress even when things are tough, when results seem slow, or when others are complaining about how hard the journey is. People often underestimate the power of consistent effort. They want to see dramatic results right away, but success isn't a sprint. It's a marathon. And it's those who keep putting in the work, regardless of how they feel or what's happening around them, that eventually reach their destination. While others are complaining about the hurdles, you'll be steadily moving forward, overcoming one challenge at a time. And over time, that consistency pays off in a way that no complaint ever could. Complaints are easy. It's easy to blame others, to point out what's wrong, or to focus on the obstacles. But the truly successful don't waste time complaining. They focus on solutions, they keep their eyes on the goal, and they continue doing the work, even when it feels like progress is slow. That's what separates the ones who make it from the ones who give up. So the next time you're tempted to complain about your circumstances, ask yourself if you're willing to put in the consistent effort required to change them. The answer is in your actions, not your words. There's a simple but powerful principle to understand: let your results speak for you. In a world filled with noise and endless chatter, where people are quick to tell you about their plans, their ideas, and their ambitions, the real power lies in quietly doing the work and letting the results speak for themselves. You don't need to constantly remind others of your goals or efforts. Your outcomes will do that for you. I think about it, how many times have you met someone who talks a big game, promises the world, but never delivers? Words are easy. Anyone can say they're going to do something, but only a few will actually follow through. The truly successful don't waste time talking, they act. And when they act, their results start to speak volumes. You don't need to explain yourself or justify your actions to anyone. Your results are the proof of your commitment, your hard work, and your discipline. The right kind of success doesn't need to be shouted from the rooftops or shared in every conversation. It doesn't need to be announced or validated. When you put in the work, when you invest your time and effort into creating something meaningful, the world will eventually take notice. The impact of your achievements will do the talking. This approach requires patience, yes, but it also requires integrity. You must be willing to focus on your goal and ignore the distractions, the doubters, and the critics. Keep your energy focused on the task at hand, on the work that will lead to results, not on seeking validation or approval. In the end, when you let your results speak, you create something much more powerful than a momentary win or fleeting praise. You create a lasting legacy of true success. Let your actions, your discipline, and your results do all the talking. There's no greater statement than that. Patience and persistence are the cornerstones of any great achievement. Too many people today are looking for shortcuts, searching for the easiest way to success, but the reality is that true success takes time. You don't build a lasting legacy overnight. You don't reach your goals with a few quick moves. Success is a result of doing the right things consistently over time, even when the rewards are slow to show up. This is where patience comes in. Patience doesn't mean sitting around doing nothing. It means understanding that things will take time and that the process itself is just as important as the outcome. You have to trust the process even when it feels like nothing is happening. Every day that you show up, every small step you take is adding up. Even if you can't see the results right away, it's like planting seeds. You may not see the fruits of your labor for months, but the effort you put in today is building the foundation for tomorrow's harvest. Now, patience alone isn't enough. It's persistence that makes all the difference. It's the ability to keep moving forward, even when things get tough, even when you face setbacks or challenges. Persistence is the unwavering determination to keep going, no matter how many times you fall, no matter how many obstacles you encounter. The person who is truly persistent will always outlast the one who gives up at the first sign of difficulty. Success is not about avoiding the hard times or the failures. It's about how you respond to them. The persistent person doesn't quit after a setback. They learn from it, adjust, and keep going. Every failure is a lesson that leads you one step closer to success. So when things aren't moving as quickly as you'd like, don't give up. Trust that the effort you're putting in will pay off in the end. The combination of patience and persistence will carry you through the tough times and make your eventual success that much sweeter. Remember, the journey to success is a marathon, not a sprint. It's about putting in the work day in and day out, keeping your eyes on the goal, and trusting that eventually all the time, effort, and energy will add up. Be patient with the process, but be persistent in your actions. It's this combination that will get you where you want to go. Too often, people are focused on seeking validation from others. They look for approval, recognition, and praise, hoping that external validation will somehow confirm their worth or ability. But this is a dangerous trap. If you spend all your time seeking validation, you'll never truly develop into the best version of yourself. Validation is fleeting. It can be here one moment and gone the next. But mastery, true mastery, is something that lasts. Instead of chasing after applause or the approval of others, focus on seeking mastery in whatever it is you do. Mastery doesn't come from the outside world, it comes from within. It's about dedicating yourself to continuous improvement and pushing yourself to be the best. Not because someone is watching, but because you are committed to becoming the best you can be. When you focus on mastery, you build something that no one can take away from you. Your skills, your knowledge, and your expertise become your own. No external opinion can define them because they are the result of your own hard work and commitment. The pursuit of mastery is about constant growth, not seeking to be good enough for others. It's about looking at where you are today and asking, how can I get better tomorrow? You don't need to compare yourself to anyone else because the only person you should be competing with is yourself. Are you improving? Are you putting in the effort to continually grow and refine your skills? This is where the true rewards come. The more you master your craft, the less you'll need to seek validation. Your results, your work, your impact will speak for themselves. The satisfaction will come from the progress you see in yourself, not in what others think of you. When you make mastery your goal, everything else falls into place. Recognition, success, and validation will naturally follow, but only because you've earned them through your dedication. You will no longer need to seek approval because your work will command respect. Mastery is the ultimate form of self-empowerment. It gives you control over your life and your future. And when you focus on being the best, you'll find that the validation you once sought comes as a byproduct of the excellence you've achieved. So stop worrying about what others think of you. Seek mastery and let that be the true measure of your success. In a world that's constantly buzzing with noise, distractions, and endless opinions, it can be difficult to hear your own thoughts or focus on what really matters. Yet, silence, true silence, is where growth begins. It's in the moments when you step away from the chaos, when you choose to be still and reflect, that you make the most meaningful progress. Growth doesn't happen in the noise, it happens in the quiet, deliberate moments when you're alone with your thoughts and your ambitions. Silence allows you the space to think clearly, to make better decisions, and to focus on what truly matters. When you're constantly surrounded by the opinions of others, it's easy to lose sight of your own path. You might start chasing someone else's version of success or allow the doubts and fears of those around you to cloud your judgment. But in silence, you reconnect with your own goals and values. You rediscover your purpose and find the clarity needed to take the next step forward. True growth requires time for reflection. It requires the ability to step back from the distractions and evaluate where you are, where you want to go, and what needs to change. In those quiet moments, you can assess your progress and make adjustments without the pressure of external opinions or expectations. This self-awareness is the foundation of real growth. It allows you to make decisions that align with your true self, not what others think is best for you. It's also in silence that you can find the discipline to work on your skills, to hone your craft, and to master the things that matter most. While the world around you may be chasing fleeting trends or looking for quick fixes, you're quietly putting in the time and effort that will pay off in the long run. It's the work done in silence that often produces the most significant results. The results that speak for themselves without the need for constant announcements or validations. The greatest achievements are often the ones that come from a place of deep focus and reflection, when you've taken the time to connect with your inner purpose. Silence isn't empty, it's filled with possibilities. It's the space where ideas are born, where plans are formulated, and where transformation takes place. If you want to grow, you must first make room for that growth by embracing silence. It's not a void, it's a fertile ground where your potential can be cultivated. So don't be afraid of the quiet. Embrace it. It's in those moments of stillness that you'll find the direction, the clarity, and the strength to move forward with confidence. The noise will always be there, but true growth happens when you learn to be comfortable with silence. In that silence, you'll discover everything you need to succeed. In today's world, we're constantly surrounded by the temptation of instant gratification. Whether it's the click of a button to order something we want, the desire for immediate results in our work, or the pressure to see success overnight, the easy way is often the most tempting. But here's the truth: the path to lasting success rarely comes from quick fixes or shortcuts. It comes from long-term effort, discipline, and the ability to delay immediate rewards for the sake of a greater, more fulfilling future. Instant gratification is a trap. It's a fleeting pleasure that can feel satisfying in the moment, but it doesn't lead to lasting happiness or fulfillment. It's easy to get caught up in the desire for quick rewards, but what happens when you constantly seek the shortcut? You end up sacrificing your future for the satisfaction of the present. You might get that quick win, but it won't bring you the deep sense of achievement and pride that comes from truly earning something through hard work and persistence. The truth is, success takes time. Great achievements are built over months and years, not moments. It's the work done day in and day out, the small actions that accumulate over time that bring you the real rewards. You have to understand that the best things in life take time to develop, whether it's a skill, a business, or even a personal transformation. It's in the journey, not the instant outcome, where you find the growth and fulfillment that will sustain you in the long run. When you avoid the trap of instant gratification, you're making a conscious decision to invest in your future. You're choosing to put in the work, to stay disciplined, and to trust the process, knowing that the rewards will be much greater in the end. It's the people who stay committed to the long-term vision, who resist the urge for immediate pleasure, who ultimately achieve success. They understand that the effort today, the sacrifices made now, will pay off far beyond any quick reward. In the short term, it may feel like you're missing out on the quick pleasures of life. But in the long run, it's the people who have the patience to delay gratification, who are willing to make sacrifices today for a better tomorrow, who end up creating something truly meaningful. They build wealth, they develop deep relationships, and they achieve greatness not by taking shortcuts, but by doing the work consistently and resisting the temptation for the easy way out. So avoid the trap of instant gratification. Learn to enjoy the process, the grind, and the slow build of success. Embrace the discomfort of doing the hard work, knowing that it will pay off in ways that instant rewards never will. Remember, what you're building now will bring you far greater rewards in the future than anything that could be gained from taking the easy route. Success is earned, not rushed. There's a powerful satisfaction that comes with surprising people with your progress. Most people expect results to come quickly, or they assume that achieving success is something that happens overnight. But true progress, the kind that really makes an impact, often comes quietly and steadily. It's not about grand gestures or showing off every step of the journey. It's about putting in the work day after day and letting your results speak for themselves when the time is right. People tend to underestimate the quiet achievers, the ones who are diligently working in the background, refining their skills, improving their habits, and building their future. While others are distracted by noise, the ones who truly succeed are often the ones who are putting in the effort without fanfare, who aren't seeking attention, and who aren't looking for praise. But then one day, when the results finally start to show, they have the power to shock those who doubted or overlooked them. That's the beauty of progress. It sneaks up on people. It's like planting a tree. At first, nothing seems to happen. But over time, the roots grow deeper, the trunk grows stronger, and then suddenly you have something that can't be ignored. It's important to remember that the journey is yours and yours alone. Don't waste time trying to prove yourself to others. Your progress doesn't need to be validated by external praise. The best kind of success is the one that sneaks up on people because they didn't see it coming. They didn't know the effort and dedication you were pouring into your work. They didn't know how committed you were to your own growth. But when the results arrive, they're undeniable. By focusing on the work, by putting in the time and effort, you create a situation where your success is both a reflection of your growth and a pleasant surprise to others. They won't see the long nights, the sacrifices, or the dedication it took to get to that point. They'll just see the outcome, the success that seems to appear out of nowhere. And that's the moment when you realize that all the quiet work was worth it. It's that quiet persistence, the decisions you made to keep going when others were distracted or complaining, that allow you to surprise them with your progress. In the end, let your results be the shock. Let them be the ones who are surprised by how far you've come. You don't need to announce your intentions or boast about what you're doing. Your progress will do all the talking. The quiet work you put in every day will accumulate and eventually lead to the kind of success that others can't ignore. The best way to surprise the world is to stay focused, keep improving, and let your progress speak for itself when the time comes. In a world where instant results and quick fixes are glorified, it's easy to lose sight of the importance of the long game. Everyone wants to succeed quickly. We live in an era where technology, social media, and fast-paced lifestyles push us to believe that results should come immediately. But here's the truth: the most meaningful and lasting successes aren't built overnight. They're the result of steady, consistent effort over time. Embracing the long game means understanding that success is not a sprint, it's a marathon. When you focus on the long term, you free yourself from the pressure of needing to see instant results. You stop measuring your progress by what you achieve in the next month or even the next year. Instead, you shift your focus to the vision you have for your future. You recognize that the small steps you take today, no matter how insignificant they seem, will compound over time and create something remarkable. Every day you show up, every effort you make is a small deposit into the future you're building. The long game requires patience and perseverance. It's easy to get discouraged when you don't see immediate returns for your hard work, but the key is to keep going even when things feel slow. Growth often happens behind the scenes in the quiet, uncelebrated moments when you're pushing yourself beyond your comfort zone, developing your skills, and laying the foundation for something bigger. It's those moments when you feel like nothing is happening that you must remind yourself that progress is still being made, even if it's not immediately visible. Real success comes to those who are willing to embrace delayed gratification. While others may jump from one idea to the next, seeking instant rewards, those who commit to the long game stay focused even when the payoff seems far away. They invest in themselves, their knowledge, their health, their relationships, understanding that the returns will be far greater than anything gained by rushing. These people are playing a different game. They are patient, but persistent, knowing that the work they put in today will pay off in ways that shortcuts never could. Embracing the long game also means understanding that failure is just part of the journey. The road to success isn't always smooth and setbacks are inevitable. But rather than seeing obstacles as reasons to quit, those who embrace the long game use them as opportunities to learn and grow. Every challenge becomes a lesson that strengthens their resolve and makes their eventual success that much sweeter. So stop focusing on instant wins. Stop looking for validation or immediate rewards. Instead, commit to the long game. Trust in the process. Know that your efforts will accumulate over time and that success, when it comes, will be deep, lasting, and far more fulfilling than anything gained through shortcuts. The long game isn't easy, but it is always worth it. The shock factor is one of the most powerful aspects of success. It's the moment when all the hard work, the long hours, the discipline, and the quiet effort you've put in finally reveal themselves to the world. People will look at you and say, "How did you do that?" And they won't even have an answer because they weren't there to see the hours you spent perfecting your craft, the sacrifices you made, or the challenges you overcame. You see, most people want instant recognition. They want the applause before they've put in the work. But the true shock factor comes from doing the work behind the scenes consistently, day in and day out. It's about quietly improving, relentlessly pursuing your goals, and focusing on what matters without needing validation from others. When the moment arrives, when the results speak for themselves, that's when the shock factor hits. What's remarkable about this is that the shock factor isn't something you can force. It's not about trying to impress others or make a dramatic entrance. It's the natural result of a life lived in quiet pursuit of greatness. It's the culmination of all those small, uncelebrated victories that lead up to a moment of extraordinary success. People who understand this aren't out there broadcasting their efforts. They don't need to tell everyone what they're working on. They understand that true success doesn't require a stage or a microphone. It requires dedication, focus, and the patience to let results unfold in their own time. When you stay focused on the work, when you're not distracted by the noise, your success will eventually emerge in such a way that it shocks everyone who underestimated you. And when that shock comes, it's not because you were loud about your journey, it's because you let your actions do the talking. People will be left in awe of what you've accomplished, and you won't have to explain a thing. Your success will be the loudest thing in the room, and it will speak for itself, commanding the respect and recognition you've earned. That's the beauty of the shock factor. It's the moment when all your quiet hard work is revealed to the world, and they can't help but stand in awe of what you've done. It's the kind of success that speaks volumes, even though it came from the most humble, silent efforts. Keeping your ego in check is one of the most important lessons you can learn on the road to success. It's easy to get caught up in your own achievements and start believing that you are above others. But the moment you let your ego take control, you begin to lose sight of the things that truly matter. You stop learning, stop growing, and stop improving. You begin to think that the world owes you something, and that's when everything starts to slip away. True success comes not from thinking you're better than others, but from understanding that there's always room to grow. The person who lets their ego lead them often ends up stagnant. They stop seeking new knowledge because they believe they know it all. But the most successful individuals are always humble enough to know they can still learn, still improve, and still achieve more than they have. They realize that success is a journey, not a destination, and the moment you think you've reached the top is the moment you start to fall. Ego blinds you to opportunities for growth. It makes you defensive when someone offers constructive criticism. It leads you to focus on your pride instead of your progress. But if you can keep your ego in check, you open yourself up to feedback, to learning from others, and to adjusting your course when necessary. You remain flexible and receptive, knowing that every piece of wisdom, no matter where it comes from, can help you get closer to your goals. When you're humble, you also become more effective in your relationships with others. You understand that you don't have to be the loudest in the room to be heard. You can listen, observe, and learn from those around you. You become a better leader, a better collaborator, and a better person when you let go of your ego and focus on what truly matters. The key is to remember that success is about the results, not the recognition. It's about the impact you make, not the praise you receive. If you focus too much on how others perceive you, you'll lose sight of what you're truly working toward. Keep your ego in check, and instead of seeking applause, focus on building something that speaks for itself. When you keep your ego in check, you also keep your feet on the ground. You remain grounded in reality, aware of both your strengths and your weaknesses. You embrace the hard work, the discipline, and the sacrifices needed to reach your full potential. Ego, on the other hand, will have you chasing the wrong things: superficial recognition, fleeting fame, or empty validation. These things won't build lasting success. Only humility and a willingness to grow will. By keeping your ego in check, you ensure that your journey towards success is one of continual improvement. You build a foundation on solid principles, not on pride or arrogance. You become a person others look up to, not because you demand respect, but because you've earned it through your actions, your work ethic, and your unwavering commitment to your goals. In the end, the greatest success is not in feeding your ego, but in letting your actions speak for themselves.